Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I'm your host, Daniel Prue, and joining me, as always, are my two buddies, Philip and Darren. How has your week been going, guys? Philip, how's your Enterprise rewatch? Then I know you are probably all the way into season 3 by now, right?
No, I'm midway through season 2. It was funny. I was like, I'm probably almost finished. I'm like halfway. If not, I'm not even halfway. Like episode 12, that's got to be pretty. No, okay. There's 26 episodes or something. Okay, well, never mind then. Yeah, because I mean, and I'm enjoying it, and I feel like season 2, for the most part, not 100%, has settled down a little bit. Not that season 1 was wild, but season 1 had that kind of like, oh, we're really sexy, aren't we? And I'm like, yeah, and it's annoying. So, but season 2 has, for the most part, settled down, and so just more regular stuff, and I really like it. And they're about to like raise the bar here in a couple episodes, because it'll be like progenitor stuff like that. So it's a little heavier, storytelling wise, in a good way. But then I'm also like, and I'm glad I'm a little early because not that I hate season 3, but like I'm enjoying this phase of Enterprise because, you know, as soon as Earth gets attacked, it's a different show. So I'm sort of enjoying it where it is now. Because then I also wanted to be like, well, I got to stop soon because I want to watch or rewatch season 1 Strange New Worlds because that starts here in a couple weeks. So, but yeah, no, enjoying Enterprise. It is, you know, in my Legacy Trek era, it's my least favorite. I don't know, not between that, it's nice. But anyway, but I am enjoying it. My point is to say, even though it's not my favorite, I'm still enjoying it a lot. So Enterprise, go watch it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too. I caught a good chunk of it when it was being first aired while I was in college, but most people I talked to who didn't watch it in first air, who go back and give it a shake, like, yeah, it may not be their favorite, but they're like, this is actually better than I expected. Like, I've yet to find someone who just watches it for the first time after the fact and absolutely hates it. Like, that's super rare. They at least give it a good try.
I think I like it more every time I mean, I'm a fan of it anyways, but I think I like it more when I rewatch it. So I'll be doing.
I think it is sort of, and I don't say this in a bad way, generic. Well, I'll say Legacy Trek because it's generic Legacy Trek. Like, you know, I mean, because you know, we get to season 3, we start getting into that thing, but like seasons 1 and 2, it's just the only difference is
episode of the week, planet of the week. You know,
yeah,
technology's a little older.
The only difference is like, you know, it's like a role playing game. You're on level 1 instead of a level 10. Yeah. So, you know, you don't have torpedoes yet. You haven't gotten that.
Yeah,
yet,
but you just fight, you know, level 1 bad guys, and then it's all basically the same. So,
and then I like the premise because they always want to play with this premise, and not in a bad way, but they always want to return to a single starship because that was original series. I mean, single starship in deep space. That was that problem. There's, you know, you don't see Federation a lot because they're all by. Next Generation kind of mix that up because they're not really alone anymore. But then Deep Space Nine, oh, they're way over here. They're by themselves. And then Voyager, oh, they're in this other quadrant. They're by themselves. And so Enterprise, how do you get them by themselves? Because, you know, so it's like, well, they're the first ship, so they're by themselves.
I was going to say, in Next Gen, there was always a Excelsior class somewhere within the sector, you know, just ready to throw alongside. Yeah, mostly the hood. Well, you know, maybe it's one of those support ships for the Galaxy class. It needs little tender ships to come alongside and transfer, you know, food. I don't know what they would need to carry.
A courier of some sort.
Darren, I know you've probably been spending most of your time on the planet Kobo, but other than that, what have you been up to this week?
Yes, it's all Star Wars all the time right now. Although I did just watch a movie with Chris Pine, famously player of Jim Kirk. I watched Unstoppable. It was that 2010 Denzel Washington.
Dungeons and Dragons.
No. Well, there's that too, but this is an older one. This was about the train that ran away in Pennsylvania, and Denzel Washington and Chris Pine saved the day. So jumping between railway cars, just like in Star Trek, it felt like I was watching, you know, 2009.
Well,
which would have been the year prior. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I just watched You Are Cordially Invited. And coincidentally enough, guess who wasn't cordially invited to
Well, we
Worf's
have a whole
wedding?
podcast about that.
Well, someone else that wasn't invited to Worf's wedding was his mom. And today
You're right.
See what I'm doing there?
That's true. Ms.
Ms. Romanoff.
Yep.
Or Roshenko. Yeah.
I think
So-
she'd be really upset if Worf didn't invite her to his wedding.
You would think. They were.
Are we
more
supposed to
sentimental.
assume she died? I mean, she was an older lady.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
We just saw her a handful of years earlier in Next Gen. Like, I don't.
No. Because in the episode where Alexander comes back, he talks about them,
Oh.
and Worf asks how they are. He goes, "How are your grandparents?" And he said they're fine. He said they're great. So
I mean, I know it's paying extra actors, but I would have loved a few more like Worf calls home moments in DS9. I think that would have been fun.
At least they got a shout out in Picard season 3. So
Yeah, he's still House of Roshenko.
That's true. That was such a cool opening introduction.
But anyways, so all that to segue is to say that today of recording is Mother's Day here, and so I thought we would
In the
talk
US.
about-
in America,
yeah, I was going to say I don't know if you have like Mum's Day.
they
some
don't
other-
care about mothers in the UK.
We had it last month. Y'all are behind.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're going to celebrate the good, the bad, the random. I think the alien, all the moms in Star Trek. So I thought we'll do it pretty freewheeling. I don't have a comprehensive list, so this is going to be whatever we can come up with. But the first thing I thought of when I'm like, mothers in Star Trek, I actually went to 2009 and I thought of Winona Ryder as Amanda in, because I thought, there was a great little relationship they had. I know it's only a couple of scenes, but it shows, this sort of humanity connection to Spock that we don't get as much in the original series, sort of a thing. So, and I can't remember how she's portrayed in which episode is that? It's the one Babel? Is that the one she's in?
Journey to Babel.
Oh, yeah. ATOS.
I can't remember her portrayal. Like how her
It seems like there's always a different actress every time we see her. So
Well, she was I can't think of the actress's name. She's from Father's Knows Best, so a 60s actress that people would know. Jane White? I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was it was interesting because she kind of was sort of like the political wife, but then she stood up to both Spock and Sarek, like, you both are being jerks. That was her MO.
Well, to be fair, they kind of always are jerks to each other, and she's just stuck in the middle, I guess.
Yeah. So sort of loving wife, but not just background.
Right. So what comes up in your mind when you think, what's the first mom?
We could sort of stick with Amanda for a second.
Sure.
Because I'm thinking Discovery. She sort of, I'm trying to remember, because we see she gave the Alice in Wonderland. I mean, that was the whole thing, connection with Michael. And then sort of her trying to placate both Spock and Michael. So that was and then Michael, it was, I don't know how you would picture, who's a daddy's girl versus a mama's girl. Because I think the series wants you to connect Michael to Sarek stronger. But then you kind of see there's almost more of a stronger connection with Amanda. So, I mean, maybe she has a connection with both of her parents, which is fine. But it was interesting, I think, because obviously she's a human. The human mother, or, adopted mother, doesn't matter. They're all mothers. So with a mother, in this Vulcan place. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like how many people have played Amanda? Because I always feel like we play, how many people played Sarek, which is also a number, because you have the Kelvin verse and then the Discovery, and then you have TOS, Mark Leonard. So,
Are four people listed on Memory Alpha as playing, including Majel. Did she do the voice or something? And then was there like a TAS episode or something? That's what I'm thinking. Did we ever see?
I guess it had to be.
Oh
I don't know.
I see a picture of her. I see an animated picture of her. So it must have been.
Oh, I know. Of course. Yesteryear.
Yeah, she would have done the voice in the animated series
When Spock goes back in time.
because Scotty couldn't do it.
So
Yeah, I mean, when I think of mothers, let's jump to someone we often don't give a fair shake and talk about later. Let's talk about Beverly, because she raised her second son. No, we've seen a lot of her though with the recently in season 3 Picard. Spoilers if you haven't seen it for some reason and are listening to a Star Trek podcast. But Jack Crusher, still kind of weird that you named him after your dead ex-husband exactly. But Jack Jr. maybe Jack the Third. But no, but she
does make me wonder who's Wesley named after.
Yeah.
Is that like her college boyfriend or something?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Her boyfriend before.
Maybe she was upset and she's like, okay, Jack, I'll name the second one. And then, but we have her. We also, we see her a bunch in, I mean, I think back to Encounter Farpoint where she's bringing young starry-eyed Wesley on the ship. And we're to, observe this boy through our eyes of, being on a starship and sitting in the center chair. And, we hadn't read our technical manuals yet, but he knew them all. He knew every button, every switch, and he could have taken over that ship. I knew I had to get him out of my chair before he pushed the wrong thing. No,
he's like Mozart, Darren.
I know. But no, this is not about Wesley. It's about Beverly. But I mean, I tend to think of, I mean, if we're honest, Star Trek in general doesn't do parents really well. Like, barring a few standouts, like maybe Ben Sisko and a few others where it's like actually part of the story. But for the most part, it's just like, oh yeah, our characters have kids. Are we going to act like it? No, but they do. So that makes it a little tricky.
I guess I'm interested to know when it comes to writers, and I'm going to say this and I'm probably wrong. I feel like actors in Star Trek are more likely to be parents, like in real life, than writers. I feel like, because I just picture writers as all single, no life other than writing. And I'm sure that's not true. But I just don't picture them like going home to their family and kids. Like they're just, writers are just these diehard creatives and this is all they're doing the whole life. But then what I'm trying to say is, I don't know how well writers have personal experience with being a parent. So, I mean, and I may be completely wrong. They could all be family. I mean, all the men, because fortunately not a lot of women, and these are 90s and 2000s. But I don't really necessarily know that they know how to, you got to write what you know. But so I don't know if they're going from a lot of personal experience when they're writing these family situations, which is why I think why the characters tend to be single and ready to mingle. It's not a lot of grounded family like a Cisco's finally were.
Yeah. Well, after Beverly, another one that comes to my mind, of course, is Loxana, who is obviously a very strong parental figure, and who we see recur a whole bunch. And she's always dealing with her children. Well, yeah, children. Mostly her daughter.
Oh, well, I was going to say she only had one child, but of course that is wrong.
Right.
I'm going to phrase this carefully. She only raised one child
right.
to adulthood that we saw. A lot of caveats there.
It's true, but in the Deep Space Nine episode, obviously, she's pregnant as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we see her, in a motherly role quite a bit. And she's obviously has a very strong connection with Troy. So, and she's great. Obviously, we like Loxana. Who doesn't like Loxana?
Yeah, I mean, it's the character's played for laughs often about the overbearing mother, or we see the mother-in-law, Oversexed. Which would be with Riker. I kind of, I mean, I know why, but like it would have been great to see Loxana after they were married. Like, or there's a wedding. Like, why was she not at their wedding? Oh, wait, never mind. They were having the formal wedding at Beta Z later. Yes. I forgot about that. But where we will all be traditional. But
I mean, not to get too deep into it, but Loxana, because I can't remember when Andrew, her husband, I think is his name, died. So like, I don't know how yeah, I don't know how old he was when she died. So, like, how old was Troy or Deanna? Because obviously they had the first child who died, and then Deanna. Kestra, right? The first child was named Kestra, right? I'm not making that up. That's why Deanna named her daughter Kestra. Anyway,
I didn't
might be wrong.
realize that. Okay.
I think. Interesting. Feel free to double check it while I'm talking here. But anyway, there is kind of I don't want to say tragedy because that's a value judgment. But I mean, she obviously then had to raise Deanna for the majority of her life, it would seem like, as a single mom, which, that's how, just like Beverly. But then in the second parental situation, or third, with the baby in Deep Space Nine, that's where she was sort of rejecting the father because he ended up being a terrible guy. But presumably will now raise this other child by herself, which, people do it. And there's nothing wrong with it. But I mean, it just seems like this weird, from the writer's standpoint, like they're big on single parents, and which is fine. I mean, I'm not trying to decry single parenthood, but I mean, like, that's all we get. Like, it's very, I think, rare to see two parents in Star Trek. Like, it's one of the parents has died or ran away or something.
Abandoned. Yeah. Turn into a light being or.
Yeah, I think with the, I don't know.
Okay, so sorry, Loxana's it was Ian. Andrew Troy was
I knew there was an Andrew somewhere.
Her spouse, and then she has an annulled with Jaylee, which I think that was she got married a couple times, but
right.
And Odo divorced from Odo.
That's true.
But yeah, Kestra Troy was her deceased daughter, so that is correct. That is why they named their little one. See, like, Deanna had lots of choices of exes she could have named her children after. So I don't know why she went with. What was the boy's name? The Riker Troy boy's name? Thaddeus?
That sounds right.
Thaddeus. Yep. And that was after his great-great-grandfather that we saw in Q2.
The general. That's funny. Yeah.
So Troy also a mother who forgot about her children in season 3, but she had talked a lot about them in season 2. So,
Well, we have, and it's not an episode we like to talk about, but we'll briefly mention it. Of course, her first offspring, and the child. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not, there's lots of problems, but I mean, at least from a Deanna being a mother perspective, very good. I mean, like, if you're just cutting that, it's very good. She had to raise this sudden child. So that, I mean, sort of was a preview. I mean, she was being a single mom. Because it's Star Trek, apparently. And then I think obviously we don't see her raising Thaddeus with Will, but we get the bit of the Kestra, and obviously it's one episode, you don't get a lot. But just from seeing Kestra, she seems very, even given this tragic circumstance of the family. I mean, Kestra seems pretty level-headed kid, bit on the wild side, but that's nothing wrong with that. And so, I mean, Deanna and Will, but this is just Deanna.
Now I'm thinking, like, there's like 5 names in the Troy house. That's it. You got 5 to pick from because remember, like you were saying, Philip, when the child was also named Ian because
they named him dad.
So, and then you have Kestra. So it's like, again, you got 5 names to pick from. That is all.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, that's kind of member berries. It's kind of like lazy writing, basically. They could have named those kids anything, but they had to make them references. So it's like, okay, I guess those are the 2 names that we associate or could associate, pull from old.
I'm just picturing a family dinner with father-in-law Kyle Riker. This is listing brother-in-law as Thomas Riker. Like that's going to be a really weird family dinner. Man, gosh, that drama at the Troy household. That's what I'm going to say.
This is about mothers. That is going to be weird. Like, you're filling out the form, whether you're Will or Thomas, like, list all relatives. And you're like, what do I put him down as?
Genetic code. In the Star Trek world, there's a specific other box that you check when, like, some crazy it's like duplicate. It's like, why is it? Of course, it's Star Trek that's listed.
Oh my God, they missed the perfect opportunity in season 3. So, like, let's just say Riker does something bad. He betrays the crew or whatever, right? And you think he's going to turn into a changeling? but instead he goes and he rips off
The sideburns. Oh, man.
Oh my God, it's Thomas. That'd be awesome.
So they find a way, like, how many characters did we bring back for season 3 Picard? Well, technically, we also brought Thomas back for half a second when you thought he was there. Oh, man.
But it was hologram Thomas, so we were all disappointed.
And then he like puts on an eye patch or something because that's so you can tell he's different than Will. He's the one with the eye patch. Oh,
that's not Will. That's Thomas. Anyway, sorry.
Instead of Thomas, he goes by Won't. Will and Won't.
And turns out after all this time, he had a son and named him Kyle because he liked his dad.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
It's total mirror.
Wait, you're saying Kyle and Kestra are cousins?
They're cousins. Yep, that's right.
Cousins with a K.
Yeah.
But yes.
There you go. Starfleet Academy. Make it happen. I know it's wrong time.
Speaking of which, do we know anything about Riker's mom?
I think she
just know that she died, but
yeah, just that she died, huh? Okay.
Because
just
Star Trek. So this is
her name was Betty Riker.
Betty.
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
I think we see that in a personnel file screen cap of William Riker. Oh yeah, this looks like like First Contact era stuff. So he was. I think he was around 5. Or no, she died really, really early. He was 2 when she died. Ugh.
Oh wow. Okay.
So this is going to be controversial, but
so wait. Sorry. So Riker's daughter is not named Betty.
We didn't know that. It was only on a.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if we're sticking with the family names. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say controversial pick, but I'm going to go for it. Borg Queen.
Oh.
I guess she would be an adoptive mother, certainly.
Forced adoption, but
yeah. Coerced adoption. I wouldn't call her a mom. I don't think it counts.
Really? I mean, this maturation chambers, they got to look up to someone. So.
They do have Borg baby drawers, so I guess somebody has to take care of them. All right, who else? Let's say let's.
Well, I mean, to bring it to modern times or this century, Captain Freeman.
That's right.
That's right. Decks. That's probably one of the best mother-daughter portrayals in all of Star Trek.
I think very accurate.
It kind of is. Well, not just accurate, but like, it's balanced. Like they have issues, but they're also loving. They
have issues. Well, that's putting it lightly.
I mean,
well, I like the Captain Freeman. Yeah, they're not a huggy, kissy, emotionally, which is fine. All families are different, but like any other like, oh, they're mother and daughter, and they reconcile. And like, yeah, they're just fine with each other.
Because it's played for laughs and because it's lower decks, they can kind of get away with it. But every time she does something and Captain Freeman has to put up with it or not kick her off the ship, I'm always like, this is why you shouldn't have family. This is
why nepotism laws are in place in America. Yeah.
Well, it's anti-nepotism, isn't it?
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I mean, like in other words, I don't think she'd still be an ensign if.
So she's being raised technically by both. She's already old enough, I guess, but she was raised by both parents, even though they're split up or whatever.
That's true. So, I don't know when they were split up, but it gets a feeling like it was later, not necessarily while she was being raised. Are they split up,
or are they just 24th century assignments?
Well, maybe.
That's true. Actually, they do talk about, your mother, but like that could still be, they could still be together.
Yeah. Or just together sometimes.
She does. Captain Freeman just talked to, I forget his name, Admiral, whatever. It's not Freeman, is it?
I am checking. No, that is not the Freeman I was looking for.
Yeah, just look up Beckett and who her parents are. Beckett, because Mariner.
That's what the crew of the ship should have done.
Yeah.
Because so it's Carol Freeman, right? And then it's Beckett Mariner. So where's the name?
Her father is Alonzo Freeman.
Okay.
So that means Carol still has the name.
Kept the name, huh?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is her
Name different?
Did she just did she change her name or something? Wait a minute.
Is it
Why have I not thought about this?
Is it Beckett Mariner Freeman, maybe? Or, I don't know. Or is that her stepdad? I don't know. We don't know.
I mean, I'm glancing. It's looking like.
I never even thought of that. It never occurred to me.
It says on Memory Alpha. It says spouse Carol Freeman. They're just 24th century. I got my starbase. You're on a ship, and we make it work somehow. Whenever you're in port, we'll pretend we're married.
I mean, that reminds me of like LaForge's parents, because like his mom was captain of a ship, and his dad was, I forget, science officer or something.
Yeah. Okay. So they are not. They are together. Well, he's also an admiral.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of also makes it like, why is it Beckett Mariner? Like, where'd the Mariner come from?
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be the name she's going by because she doesn't. If she was Beckett Freeman, everybody would know who her mother is.
Yeah, but that plot point did not last very long, so I don't think it's what a weird thing. Why? This is just blowing my mind because it never even occurred to me to think about that. But,
tweet at who's the showrunner? Just tweet at him. What's Beckett Mariner's
we need answers,
legal name?
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to tweet the other guy, the
Dave Blass.
Yeah, the Picard guy, just because he seems to know everything. So, anyways, okay, that's a good pick. And obviously, that's been a big part of the show, so I'm sure it will be going forward as well. When are we getting season 3? 4?
I think end of the year. They're vague, but I think it's going to be Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks.
Okay. Cool. Anything else on Lower Decks?
I think people on the Lower Decks page is getting lazy when they say Beckett Mariner Lower Deck appearances every episode. They don't list them. They just say every episode.
Today, maybe there's going to be an episode
today
that doesn't show up. Well, yeah, because I was just trying to think of modern. I mean, Discovery has a lot of mother figures.
Sure. Obviously, Giorgio is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little different. We're talking actual moms here.
And then you have Michael's biological mom, whose name I can't remember at all. The Red Angel, I believe is her name. Yeah,
I don't remember her name either.
Yeah, well, that's because we don't like the show. It's nothing against the show, we just don't like it. So, because I mean, and again, it's hard because we don't see the kids. Well, we do. We see like when the Klingons attack, and so Michael was, I don't know, fairly young, pre-teenager. But obviously, probably, good mom raising there. But then, not her fault, stuck in time, presumably. And then returning. But I think the weird thing, not the weird thing, but is when the mom joins, I can't remember what it's called, the Vulcan monks, whatever they're called.
That was so bizarre. Yeah.
Because you sort of have the season, so this is all bleeding together in my head. Season 2 ending, where like, mom's back. And then like, mom's like, so I'm out of here. But I forget. I guess she disappeared with the suit. Don't make me rewatch it. But anyway.
That's fine. It's fine. We also get, did we meet Tilly's mom?
Oh,
or was she just
holograph.
mean on the holograph? She was just mean, right? Or whatever.
There's like a message, right? That's all I remember, man.
No, but they have like a flashback of her, like, I think at home, and maybe she's at school, like boarding school. I can't remember, but it was not a good relationship.
She's just a terrible mom, right? Isn't that what
I think
gathered?
That begs the question: is it Star Trek? Because I say that because where's the dad? Is the dad dead? Presumably, it's only single parents allowed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. They never talk about her father. So, anything else on Discovery? We already talked about Amanda.
Sorry, Gabrielle Burnham is the mother of.
We never heard about Saru's mother, I don't think.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
She probably is dead because they get eaten. So,
but I mean, like, because the dad was the priest, because we saw him talk to the dad. But yeah, I don't remember. We got the sister.
The sister, definitely. Yep. No moms in Prodigy.
Well, they're all like orphans, yeah, so not really.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Well,
Janeway's kind of the
half of them are
pseudo-mom.
genetically produced out of like, you know.
That's true.
We've seen some evil stepdad stuff, but no moms, I don't think. So,
But I mean, I think it's interesting because Pog, how old is he? We're not going to go deep. But
Jacob Pog. You got to say Jacob Pog. I don't know who you're talking about. You didn't say the entire name.
Because
That's the thing, though. He's supposed to be like 15, but he's acting like 30.
Yeah.
Like, because that's, I guess, what Tellarites do.
Because he was in the sleeping pod. Now, are we to presume the rest of his family was there? Because then that scene is even double depressing. It's like depressing on its own, like if he's an adult and has to abandon the ship, but like as a child leaving his parents, and that's even doubly depressing. Like Rock. So I think Rock, that leaves only Rock. Like what's her? What's her thing? We got everyone's backstory, but it still doesn't, how'd she get to the circus performing, And I don't know anything about her species. Maybe she's like an egg's laid and out pops her rock. I don't know.
out pops an egg rock. Okay, interesting.
Yep. Yeah. And
what
then
else? There's got to be some. What are we missing here?
Well, Strange New Worlds doesn't have enough. I mean, no one's a mom on that show. I mean, they'll have them.
Do we know? Do we know for a fact?
No one's hiding a secret kid. I don't know. Some of these shows takes 25 years before you find out. So
I don't know. Maybe. What's her name? Number one. Maybe she has a kid somewhere. She's old enough, right?
yes, she's not like
Because I forget,
15.
Wasn't their thing that they're just not allowed to leave their planet? Like, what was the
genetic engineered rule? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to rewatch that season.
Oh, you know what? My mind went to Enterprise, and we meet one of Phlox's wives, right?
Yep.
So she's a mom of like 42 kids or whatever, or however it works. We
also see T'Pol's mom.
Oh yeah, they don't like each other, right?
Well, yes, I suppose that's correct. Because I'm trying to remember. I remember watching it. It kind of doesn't make sense because in a way the mom is secret. Like in other words, she's a radical, but it seems like she's pushing T'Pol to be very traditional. But then the revelation is that she's a radical, a logic extremist. No, I'm kidding.
I was just
yeah, no. I say radical. She would argue she's a real traditionalist, and the traditionalists are not traditionalists. But anyway, so. But again, I'm trying to remember, is her dad in that? I think it's just her mom. Maybe I'm not remembering it. Well, we do get Kira's mom in the flashback episode. Have you gotten to that already, Daniel? When her mom was, because time has no meaning, dating Ducat.
Oh God, I completely forgot about that. I think I wrote it out of my brain because I hate it so much. Because it's so icky and gross. No, I have not got there yet. I did get to the episode where her dad dies, but not to the mom, unfortunately.
Right.
We also get the season 7 revelation of who I guess you would call Ben's mom is, which is also terrible. But Ben, Cisco, Prophet, I guess, wormhole alien, we could call him. But
the way you said it sounded like, Ben, Cisco, ? Prophet.
So, oh God, I hate that revelation. I forget how they even do it.
It's the weird DAC with the new DAX, and they go to the desert, and
right, but I don't remember. Like,
something's
is there like an image of a woman that talks to him? It's like I am your mom.
Dreams, yeah.
I don't remember. We do get also Jennifer though. She's a mom, and we get a little bit of that in Deep Space Nine, but not a bunch. And then of course new girlfriend. Cassidy
Cassidy Yates.
Yeah, we had Cassidy as well.
who's also going to be a single mom. Presumably.
She is. Yep. But Big
Star
Brother
Trek.
Jake will help out, I think.
Mhm.
Or has helped out, I guess, now.
That's true. We need to know what's happening in this family.
So if we're going to talk Deep Space Nine characters, of course, we have Moogie as well, who's a returning mother character.
Single
and
mom?
Again,
Where's
a
the
family,
dad?
Yeah, another family with a single parent. So, well, they're single now, but Rom and Quark are old. They're people still. They're adults, and presumably the dad left.
More profitable ventures.
Later on. So I don't think it's. I mean, it is technically, but I don't know. I don't know if that counts.
If I remember, because I haven't watched it in a long time. I mean, I say a long time, like 4 years. But anyway, isn't the thing about that family dynamic that Quark is like his mom and Nog is like his dad?
Yeah.
And so.
Yes, they're both business acumen all the way, and obviously very Ferengi-like in that way. We also see Bashir's mom.
That's true for that one episode.
Yep.
Genetically engineered her child. I don't know what to.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes you got to. I don't know.
I don't think we should just watch that episode, talk about that. Because I mean that's a whole is genetic engineering. This is another topic I realize, but because the argument would be by the 24th century, I mean it's been a long time since 1990 whenever Khan was, which we all remember from life. But that argument really we're going to ban this for 500 years? It just seems like A, that's unrealistic, that would never happen. But then B, even if we're accepting that really happened, surely someone changed their mind eventually. Well, yeah, they did this, but we can do this now. But anyway, I guess the thinking there with Bashir's mom, and it hurt the dad too. It was both of them making that decision. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's if you could make everybody have the abilities that Bashir has after we find out what his abilities are, you would think everybody would do that. Everybody would. It's kind of a no-brainer, right? If you can make people better and stronger and faster and smarter, we'd all be better off. So, but I guess that's kind of why that other group of people are there, because it's not a perfect process maybe, and it can, you can have some issues, but with Bashir obviously didn't have those issues. So I'm not really sure, but that's a whole nother, that's a whole discussion. So.
I'm trying to think.
Any other moms coming in your head, Darren?
Just looking at that list.
Yeah, just I think are each of the starships mothers, because we treat them like a lady.
Well, the Enterprise D did have a child.
Yeah.
So, or an offspring. So,
and it did have a little baby hitchhiker for a while.
That's right. It was an adoptive mother for a while.
Yeah. I know. Now you're starting to get into sentient computers and things like that, which is not quite. Did we talk about Data's mother? We have a whole episode of her.
We do, but does that count?
I think this is when we get to some sort of semantics, what does a mother make? She was a female identified individual who helped in his creation. So therefore mother, I don't know,
at least she's not played by Brent.
Yeah.
One person in that family that's not played by Brent. So
see, now I'd have to watch that episode. So did she have anything to do with lore?
I wonder if they mentioned him in that one. I don't know.
Or was she just on the Data project?
I think they mentioned B4 in there, so.
That's true. They didn't mention her. Well, because to our knowledge, they removed the memory or knowledge of her being an android, and then she just left. So,
that's such a weird episode.
It is. Kind of.
Well, yeah, it's going. Not that any of this is per se grounded. It's sci-fi, but Star Trek tries to at least pretend to be grounded. So, it's interesting that you have these sort of dynamic. These good, solid foundation family dynamics. So Data, lore. Okay, I buy that. And his dad, the creator, Noonien. I buy all that. And then like they start building more and like, okay, no, you're losing the thread here. Kind of like with Cisco. You have this Cisco and Jake and Jennifer. That's pretty. And then the dad, or Ben's dad. Okay, and then like Prophet Mother. Like, okay, no. You're going.
It's always these. The thing is, it's these 7th season, middle of the last season, weird revelations that like don't add anything to the story and in fact make it weird, confusing and muddly. Like,
here's Worf's brother. Okay. and here's Worf's Klingon brother, which we could buy. Okay. Here's Worf's human brother. I'm like, did he ever mention that? I don't think.
Yeah, so it's just, that's fine, whatever. But like, just because we already had a pretty good idea of what happened on that planet with data and lore. Yeah. We had like 3 episodes sort of going over like everything with the
crystalline
people
entity.
And and the crystalline entity and all that sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, but there was this other person there that was also a robot, but then we pretended like they weren't a robot, and then now here they it's just better.
So not that we get to see it, but B'Elanna Torres obviously has a child, and we get to see the grown-up version in Endgame. So I think because motherhood doesn't necessarily start at birth; it starts before that, and so when we see B'Elanna having to go through the whole talk about genetic,
and we have Trip and T'Pol. They have the future kid in E Squared, I think. Well, then they also have the other kid that they have, in Terra Prime. One of those. But yeah, no, I think it's just interesting how you have, I would like to see more of B'Elanna as a mother. Like, again, like you said, Philip, she is a mother, but we didn't really get to experience that because it was like at 11:59 on the Star Trek clock for Voyager.
No, that's a different episode.
We did get to see, that.
Oh, that's true. Oh gosh, don't bring.
They did develop, their relationship and stuff, obviously, and then we did get to see the pregnancy and all that sort of stuff. So, that's the process, part of the process. So.
A lot of people got pregnant in Star Trek. You got B'Elanna, you got Trip, all sorts of people.
Oh boy,
Cassidy.
That's true.
Cassidy got pregnant.
Yeah, that's right. Naomi's mom
Keiko
was pregnant, although I don't know if she ever.
Keiko got pregnant. Like
Kira.
Ugh.
It happened. I'm not saying why. I'm just saying it happened.
That's stolen pregnancy. I don't think that.
We know why, but.
All right. Anything else? We've been talking about moms for a while.
Well, like the Keiko, just for a second. And
Keiko,
you're watching it more than I am, Daniel. We see the Enterprise D. We see her giving birth. But you don't. I'm trying to think. You don't necessarily get a lot of Molly. You get a little Molly in TNG. But more DS9, obviously.
Yeah.
And because Keiko opens the school not only for her child, but for the other kids. But I guess what's sticking in my head is her, because she takes Molly, tell me if I'm right here, Daniel. She takes Molly to Bajor with her, right? Basically, right? Like,
can't have her on the station because that means Miles would have to take care of her. So obviously, she took her to Bajor.
Yeah, she's gone most of the time
with Molly.
Molly, yep.
Yeah. So
she's a single parent, guys. Basically,
just so O'Brien could hang out in the holosuite with Bashir,
build his miniatures and
man cave.
They're around when the episodes require it, but obviously that requires paying extra people. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, she gets pregnant again and has Yoshi.
Does she say? Is the sense that she's now around the station more? Like she isn't just jetting over?
Yes, they mentioned
botanizing.
Yeah, they don't. Again, if they're not featured in the episode for any particular reason, they're not going to show up. But he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got to get home to Keiko or something." But they won't show her.
Yeah, that's. I get why, but it's kind of interesting with Deep Space Nine because obviously you have Ben and Jake as like the primary father-son dynamic and all of that. But it's like you bring over O'Brien, but you don't elevate his wife to like series regular. Like I imagine what DS9 would have been like if we had explored like a Federation family as deeply as every week. Like, why not? I mean, yeah, and television. I mean, we're just talking about how like, oh well, we'd had to pay her, bring her in, like she's a guest star at best. But why not? I mean, if you're going to do this, let it focus on Miles more and being a parent and going on dangerous things. But instead they're just like, no, we're going to just do like Alexander and just, you're never going to see the kid. And
well, I mean, to be fair to Deep Space Nine, they have a super amount of characters on the show. So
they do.
And
they do.
Like I said, I'm
talking like writing room day 2 level type of decision.
I think Morn gets more screen time than Keiko in that series.
No way. No way. Okay, he definitely doesn't get more lines. So.
All right. That is true.
I mean, because there are Keiko episodes. Like, there are just whole Keiko episodes.
Yeah, I remember the
alien,
ones. Yeah.
Running a school.
Yeah. But there are also 12, 15 episode stretches where they're not there at all. So,
right.
It's just.
Which, again, was a choice, and I get it. But it's just, I guess I was trying to feel more like, if you're going to have this relationship, why not go all in and really, put it into the plot?
I also feel like she probably, I think remember from the documentary or somewhere.
Oh,
I have it in my brain that
busy
she was
with
also
other things.
She was
like
busy.
She didn't want more than a. Again, I mean that makes sense. I'm not complaining with how much Keiko we got. I'm just saying it would have been interesting if a Star Trek show literally had 2 of its main characters be married, and we see that really, like, we never see that. Not really, like 2 series mains. I mean, I know you have like B'Elanna and Tom and like there are pairings, but I mean, we can all kind of agree, like once that happened, or maybe not agree, but like I know people have stated that once that happened to Tom and B'Elanna, like every episode became about their relationship, and it wasn't really like B'Elanna didn't really have any B'Elanna episodes anymore, and it was just because Star Trek doesn't know how to write relationships sometimes.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm not saying it needs to be preeminent, but I mean, I don't know. You look at, I want another word besides New Star Trek, but anyway, New Star Trek, because I feel like that's pejorative when I say it. I don't mean it that way, but it's taking a different, or new, I'll say new approach to story writing and presenting things with some of the series. And you kind of get a little bit with Discovery with Stamets and Culber, right?
That's
Those
true.
are their names.
That is true.
Trying to establish with their adopted, I'm hand quoting adopted kids. But anyway, even though you don't get a lot, I mean, I feel like they're pushing the fact more than they're showing it. Like, oh, we're so close. I'm like, yeah, but show.
Right.
I don't know.
It's always told, never shown. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my way of saying, like, I agree with you, Darren, because I feel like, oh, it's Star Trek, so they're all single and danger and nothing can tie them down. But I'm like, yeah, and that's cool, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're having like a space station, the whole point of Deep Space Nine, or even these future series, where you can be a little more grounded, and I think that's a good challenge of showing family dynamics, that you're still going to have conflict. Obviously, every family has conflict, and so that might be easier than showing single mingle people.
Yeah, I mean,
on adventures.
I feel like you need someone in the writer's room who is like a military brat who like grew up on bases and both parents were in the service, to like really construct that type of story and be like, yeah, this is what it was like, when you don't know if your dad's going to come back from the wormhole this time, I would have liked them to explore that, but we instead have to play games and
because I think in some ways they know how to make that an arc. Oh, it's like take Tom and B'Elanna, because I actually think they're a very interesting couple. You see that arc of, oh, there are these 2 different individuals in the beginning who have their own conflicts, and then they end up getting together. And like, but just think of Tom and B'Elanna in season 7 if that was season 1. you have this couple who was introduced, and then you can build on that for 6 years or 3 years, I guess.
Well, right. That's the thing is writers know how to write watch them come together, but they don't usually choose to write like, well, now they're an established family on like, and we're going to explore family life. You know, maybe some would say that's not what Star Trek's about, but I think they could have. I think that'd be an interesting aspect of a show. I don't know which show you would plug that into, but.
Because like I'm thinking of the for whatever reason, thinking of in Voyager, the Doctor's family episode.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's
again,
like,
Oh yeah.
he
you
gives
got to pack up drama in like 30 minutes. Like,
I
and
know,
the kid dies, and like, okay, a little heavy, but you could kind of space that apart into a longer.
Yeah. All right. Well, lots of mom talk. Any last minute mothers that we need to mention?
I don't know. Did somebody forget to take their pill this morning? Oh, last minute mothers. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think like what's coming up. So I doubt, but it doesn't mean we're not. I doubt we're going to get any mom stuff in Strange New World season 2. Prodigy mother figures. I mean, Janeway, I think, is raising those kids. It seems like.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Starfleet Academy, well, and then Discovery season 5. And then with Starfleet Academy, they're all obviously going to be young adults.
You would think there'd be the parents would be secondary characters on the show, right?
Maybe.
Like the main character's parents, like you got wake up.
What is there going to be a parent-teacher conference at Starfleet Academy?
Well, I'm thinking like
little Bobby's getting bad grades in thermodynamics. You really got to step that up.
I'm thinking like the opening
drop-off scene.
Drop your kids off at college. Yeah. Oh my God. Little shuttles landing and they're like moving the mattress, No, but
the
they have to move it.
Shelf
and then what's funny is they move it
dorm.
But I want them to like move it from the shuttle like 10 feet onto like a round circular pad, and then it just beams into their dorm. And you're like, why couldn't you just do that from the get-go? But you had to have the moment of them awkwardly carrying it from the shuttle to the pad. So there's got to be some orientation person walking around with like a sign above their head so everybody knows to follow them. And
well, then you got to have like at least one of the cadets is going to be is going to be calling the mom every other day or something.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So plenty of future mom opportunities in Star Trek. So, so yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone, and thanks for listening. And I think that's it. I think we'll call it good for this week, and we will catch you all next week. I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
And I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on SETI Alpha 3, but we can call our mom. So we're okay.